Well. What do you think fucking happened, huh? The Giants lose again. And why? Because of two people. And a third person that should be ashamed of himself. He should have put his foot down. Number one, Joe Schoen. Joe Schoen is a management guy. You ever work somewhere where a dude is like, well, let me give the same example I gave before. From Aliens, where they asked the guy, oh, Lieutenant, how many combat drops have you had? 30, simulated. How many actual combat drops? 1, this one. That's Joe Schoen. Joe Schoen is the management guy that got the degree and has all the stuff. But when it comes to really understanding who is important on your effing team, Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley. Here it is. Remember the guy? And you see what it says up in here? It says, once a giant, always a giant. So this is what I hope for. Because this was all expected. All right? What the outcome of today's game was completely expected. So much so, I'm on a pick'em sheet, and I took Philadelphia so quick it made your head spin. Because I knew what was coming. Daboll does not have good offensive plans. You know that the Philadelphia, they want to make an example out of you. They're going to bring the heat. You got to have all your plays set up and scripted for quick out patterns. You cannot be putting Daniel Jones in a situation where he has to drop back 5-step, 8-step drops and expect to get anybody but it's somebody with a green and white fucking jersey on. But the only person that doesn't know that is Brian Daboll. Defense, once again, flowers to you. You're the only reason we were in the game for the first fucking half. But Brian Daboll's inability to script a game that is tailor-made to the type of defense that they're facing with each individual team. I don't know if you're looking at any game tape. Maybe you're sitting back in your stupid F-150 smoking a cigar instead of paying attention to your fucking job. Joe Schoen, you're a jackass for the rest of the year off of getting rid of Saquon Barkley. You were supposed to make a franchise tag on Daniel Jones last year and give Saquon the money he wants. And we might have even got some wins, even though we got a guy that's making offensive play calls that are questionable. And you bring Jalen Hyatt at the last minute and Drew Lock. Drew Lock, if any of you real New York Giant fans, you know that we had this guy, Mike Shenko, he had like the longest neck ever. And he was weak. And these guys, they don't even come up to third string quarterback backups. Drew Lock is a fucking joke, all right? And I would have much rather you had sent out there Tommy Cutlets and see if we can get something with Tommy DeVito before we bring this bum out, Drew Lock. Well, God knows what you paid him. And the money that you paid Drew Lock, you could have went ahead and gave that extra money to Saquon, and we would have Tommy as the backup, and then after that, we do what we need to do. That's how much confidence I have in Tommy, and that's how much I don't have any confidence in Drew Lock. Drew Lock got hurt in the first play of the game in preseason, and he fell down and was like, This dude is a dude that you collects a paycheck and stands on the sideline and never plays it down. That's who you pick to bring in. I'm so disgusted with Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen right now. And I'm so happy for Saquon. And he came there, and Saquon was a team guy. He was a team guy. You never get rid of the team guy. And meanwhile, you got a guy that comes from Duke. I'll say it once, I'll say it again. What great quarterback ever came from Duke? Nobody. We can't get any offensive plays. We don't have any offensive touchdowns in 3 or 4 games. There's so much wrong. And every time you do a step forward, you do 3 steps back. So you improve the offensive line, but you don't have a clever and inventive offensive game plan. You don't know how to switch over to the hurry up drill to make these guys have to have less substitutions. You don't have any. I was so shocked that you actually did a draw play. And Tracy, imagine Tracy with Saquon, what you could get done. But you're too stupid. So I say this, and I'll keep saying it for the rest of the season. If I have it my way, you're fucking done. Joe Shane, done. Daboll's done. And then you bring in Louis Riddick and Brian Flores, which is running the defense in Minnesota that's been pretty much lights out until today. And they got it by the hair of the chinny chin chin. 31-29. What a game. I love Detroit, but I just felt that Minnesota was going to get it done without Aiden Hutchinson is gone for probably the rest of the year, unfortunately. And I hate that because pound for pound, I think the Giants would have been better off choosing Aiden over Clavon. And I love Clavon, but I just think that there's something in the personality where he's got the rest of the team more fired up. Where Clavon plays for Clavon, but I'm not sure how much he's playing in getting that team thing going. Maybe I could be wrong, but, you know, they both were like a 1A, 1B in the pick. But be that as it may, we have Clavon. I love the brother. I hope he gets well. He's able to get back on the field. Maybe him being there today might have been a difference to spark us in another way. I don't know. All I'm saying is right now, we need to have Mike Kafka come back in and start scripting plays. Sometimes when you're away from the decision-making process and you get a chance to kind of give an overview, you get a chance to do better. Because right now, Daboll's is doing nothing that's good. You know, you turn around and you run Tracy up the middle in your first quarter plays. You know, what are you doing? You know what they're going to do. They're going to stack up that middle every time. You're not getting over with that. You got to get to the outsides. And what do you see the Eagles do? Get to the outsides. They get to the outsides until they finally give you a spread that might give you a little gap to run Gainwell or Saquon up the middle. Oh, my God. You know, 10 years of this shit, I am so fucking fed up, it's not even funny. And oh yeah, I had to pull this out of the closet because it's somewhat close to Giants blue, and say holla to all my boys over there at the Air Guard in Illinois. What up, guys? Let's keep it going. You're gonna listen to me talk shit. I've had it today. I'm dropping F-bombs. I apologize to anybody that hurts their feelings. But when I watch somebody bring literal dog shit and bring it onto the field and give it as a product on a beautiful sunshiny day in the Meadowlands, I get in my feelings. It is what it is. We're going to keep moving forward, and hopefully I'm going to get what I want when I send those 2 clowns, Brian Daboll and Joe Shane, off into the sunset. You go somewhere else. I'm quite sure you'll do the mediocre and less than mediocre job that you have been doing since you've been here. And it was just pure luck and defensive plays that helped to get you into that one playoff game that we have seen since forever. And you were 9-7-1, all right? You don't give somebody a $160 million contract when you're 9-7-1. And everything you did before that was mediocre, and you got hurt. And then you turn around in the following year that they gave you the money, the team went 6-11 or some shit. Are you kidding me? And meanwhile, you can't pay Saquon? I was very happy for Saquon. I loved seeing him truck down the field because I'm hoping that John Mara has the most sickest effing feeling in his gut right now because he didn't insist on keeping Saquon. All right, let's talk about some other stuff that happened yesterday. One is, and I have a little bit of happiness, is the great University of Illinois is now 6-1 and beat Michigan, which all the years of being in Champaign and seeing Michigan come in there and waylay the University of Illinois, it was nice to get some get back. So my hat's off to Coach Belima, to Alsmeyer, and the rest of the team. Defense played well. You guys are awesome. Coaching staff. The fans were out there. It was a beautiful day in Champaign. I wish I could have been there for it. It's fantastic. Also, I want to say a little something about the Georgia and UT game because that's where I live, in Austin. And believe me, these people came in like maniacs. It was hysterical to watch. Matthew McConaughey on the sideline. Enough wasn't enough. The fans spazzed out and threw 100 cans out onto the field. Coach Steve Sarkisian had to come over and tell these guys to stop and put their hands up. It was hysterical. If you haven't seen it, it was great. And hey, Coach Prime keeps doing what he's doing over there in Colorado. It's going to be interesting to see where his sons and Travis Hunter end up in the NFL, but I think it's almost a guarantee they will be in the NFL. Felt bad for Arch Manning. He was trying to get a little something done, but it didn't happen. But hey, Louis Riddick as your GM, Brian Flores as your head coach. They bring together and put together a team. I wouldn't mind seeing Arch Manning here just for shits and giggles because it'd be hilarious to see another Manning come in and be more successful than his uncle. So we're going to see what the deal is, what's going on, and see if we can make it happen. So we got some good games coming on for the rest of the half, but I just had to get this therapy session out. And as always, let's go New York Football Giants. Salute to everybody out there that's making content. And let's go New York Football Giants. It might be for next year, but let's go New York Football Giants. And fuck Brian Daboll and fuck Joe Shane. Have a nice fucking